All right, I'll call this meeting to order. It's the Ways and Means regular meeting, Tuesday, June 18th, 2024. A few minutes late, like 6:05 PM. This meeting is being recorded by the Ways and Means Committee. If any other persons present are doing the same, you must notify this guy at this time. And that's all. So we'll do a roll call of members. Counselor Toronto, that's me, yeah. Okay. Counselor Garrett.
I'm here.
Counselor Master Totaro.
Yep.
Mr. Wondolowski.
Here.
Counselor Perry.
Present.
All right, we've got full body tonight. We've got approval of minutes from the 16th, 23rd, 30th, and May 6th of this year. Oh, sorry, the 16th, 23rd, and 30th of April, and May 6th of this year. All right. Something on that?
No, I thought they did a good job capturing the basics of what we talked about.
It really brought me back. It did, actually. I was like,
I realized I left out one of my vote sheets that I'm supposed to hand them. I have with me tonight. I'll just leave it in this packet. All right, all those in favor of approving those minutes?
I,
Aye. Thank you all for being here in person. It makes it so much better and easier.
it takes out like half the packet. I think we're on 33, right?
Every
Yeah.
time when it's like 95 pages.
Yeah.
Like,
I still see nobody attempting to join, so by default, I'm gonna say there's no public comment. I offered it, for the record. I offered it.
So noted.
There are no public hearings tonight. Motions. This is where I get the weeds of this stuff.
33.
Yeah.
Moving money.
Transfer, I should probably give the actual page. I can't just read off of this. That's okay.
Oh, you have a whole packet.
I do. I mean, which I love because I hate having to look at the computer.
Yeah.
However, in the first 30 pages.
Well,
Transfer the amount of $3,854.92 from free cash to close out deficits in the CDBG grant years 2018 and 2019. Any discussion on that? Oh, I guess I need a second.
second.
Any discussion on this?
Nope. A sense of why we've got these lingering deficits from 4 years ago.
I don't know why it's that old. These are kind of normal. What I imagine, only because, and maybe I'm speaking out of turn by saying this, I know that the way CDBG grants are awarded, sometimes the project is still ongoing after the fact. I don't know that for a fact, but I suspect that maybe has something to do with it.
Yeah, because my understanding is like a certain amount is, gotten from the Fed state.
Right.
Right.
And if we're then re-granting it out, I'm not sure why we would have a deficit.
Yeah. Very good.
Chancellor.
Yes.
I'm here for CPA, but I'm also working on CDBG for the city, so I can answer this if you'd like.
That'd be great.
So these are
Welcome to the table.
Yeah, we got him.
This is how we wrote you in.
Yeah. Congratulations, you're now Ways and Means.
Thanks.
I was like, I knew that answer too, but I'm gonna sit my lip.
All right, so yeah, so this is correct. These are CDBG grants from 2018 and 2019, but you're also correct that these go on for several years. So 2019 was just getting closed out a few months ago, and basically the 3,800 number is payroll that the city paid out, and then afterwards we request from the state to reimburse us for those costs. And so previous staff that no longer work for the city did not request enough funding. There was some clear errors. And so there's a 3,800 deficit, and so just would close it out.
So this isn't normal in that sense. This should have been covered by the state. It's okay. Glad you asked.
Cool. way better explanation than I had for that, so. Thank you.
Yeah, remember it for Thursday though.
I'll be like, reference Tuesday's meeting.
You're like, watch the video.
Yep. All right, is that being said, is there any other discussion on that one? All in favor?
I,
Okay. Don't go far.
I was just saying,
I'll be back.
Yeah.
he doesn't like us.
I think these chairs are more comfortable than those chairs.
Yeah. All right, this is a order to transfer 30,000 from free cash to FY 24 legal labor. To transfer the amount of 30 grand from free cash legal labor special litigation account line 0100 5305 to provide funding for unexpected legal labor costs incurred.
Second.
Is there any questions, discussion on this item?
I guess the obvious question was, what was the unexpected legal cost, but I guess doesn't really matter.
What was the unexpected?
Yeah,
I have a feeling, just from this one, I think I can get, having been here for the past year prior, I think we were under budgeted on our legal and then there was a lot of over expenditures in legal. I think this is the second, if not third, transfer we've had
sure.
Yeah.
for labor. This one being legal labor.
I know there's contract negotiations.
Right. Yeah, I think this one is, might be the first one on legal labor I've seen, but,
Special litigation.
yeah.
I remember that we asked the mayor about the legal expenditure kind of line a couple of times in
They're
the,
two different ones.
right, sorry. So what is it? Legal labor and legal contracted legal?
I think it's almost like general.
Regardless, like I remember, I thought she said that she didn't expect it to continue to be as high in the future, kind of knock on wood. So like, that's
Yeah.
something that if it continues to be, that's,
I think the special litigation or unexpected costs might have been circumstantial to the happenings of the last
Right.
12 to 18 months.
some personnel stuff.
Yeah, personnel
Hmm.
and other stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of the bigger, like, how much is resolved.
Right.
So that we don't have to keep coming
Right.
back.
This would be nice to know, like, are we gonna be asked about this
And
constantly?
a lot of these, again, these are closeout.
Yeah.
A lot of this is
Some
closeout.
money's already been spent technically.
Right.
I mean, we have $12.31, so.
No, we've got-
Yeah, no, we're.
We kind of got to pay that bill, right? You don't not pay your lawyer. I guess
It's nice to not. You know,
that's also true.
hard to do.
Yes. You're right, Becky.
Any other comments, thoughts, questions on that one? All right, all in favor?
Me too.
This one appropriate sum of 150,000 for two marked police cruisers and to meet said appropriation. 150,000 be transferred from Fund 8402 Capital Stabilization.
Oh, second.
Thank you. So these, I will say, I'm flipping through. Oh, guys, I hate it. Probably would have came to us through capital. Well, it would have came to us through capital. I think the lack of a better term, regime change, pulled all the capital. The previous administration, previous regime, pulled the capital request from the police department right as we were getting into capital discussions at the committee. So these are kind of in addition to, but probably would have been, well, I know they were requested to begin with. I didn't see any, personally didn't see any unfavorable input on the idea of them, even though it wasn't something we had to bring up specifically.
Well, the chief did a good job of explaining the fleet at his budget meeting. It made a lot of sense he was talking about, so.
Yeah,
The age of the car and how much, time.
and they're already behind.
Yes.
I mean, as far as.
It's not something we want, I don't think, to do normally is to be taking it from capital. We'd like all the departments,
Operate.
that's their ability to be on a recycling schedule of
Yep.
their vehicles, but since that's been lacking for quite a long time. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I mean, he, as Councilor Perry said, he did a good job answering questions. Like I remember we were asking about like electrification of the fleets and the feasibility of that. And he, the lack of chargers, et cetera. One of the things I'm gonna, vote in favor of this because we got to replace the cars, but I would love us to start making moves to electrify this fleet. And one of the things I noticed when we're doing the main budget is stabilization funds can now be set up on the same law change that made it so we can take money out more easily. Made it so you can set them up effectively as like a brokerage account, accumulate interest, make investments in the future. I would love like a police car electrification fleet stabilization fund, so we can like set up a piggy bank to start doing this. Because if it's too expensive now, that's fair. And it is, like, that's.
Well, it's just not feasible right now.
Right, and that's what Carol Collins said as well, I talked to her.
It's also, I don't think the technology's there.
That's fine.
East
know.
East Hampton has police cruisers that are electrified.
Yeah, no, the technology is
If
there.
you're
It's
gonna
just-
change anything to electric, right now anyway, as they get more and more in need of repair, those little minibuses for the school department, they got a whole fleet of them.
And we can bring the minibuses in later.
But if you want to, I believe my son's a cop in Plastow, New Hampshire. And what they do up there is they have a cruiser fund, which when people work details, the city charges so much money per hour, which is more than what the police officers are getting paid. That balance goes into a specific savings account for cruisers.
It's kind of, yeah.
And he says it adds up fast.
And to buy some charging stations at the police station, It's like,
I
sorry,
mean, I think those are good questions. They definitely be worth looking into. I don't know how on,
it's an act of the council, like we would.
well,
say.
not just us.
Right,
There are state laws that govern a lot of that as well, that
the stable.
in the differences between us and New Hampshire could be huge on that.
Well, that's what I'm
as far
saying.
as,
The budget book said
Yeah.
that we now have the ability to set up stabilization funds for any purpose we want to. So like, let's do it. Let's
Yeah.
electrify, not just this, but the whole fleet of vehicles for the city, like, there's no reason, look at the weather, right? Like, I know the weather isn't climate. I understand that, but.
No, but the other thing that I think comes into this is when we start building the infrastructure, then it helps the community
Right.
to make that shift, and then it's a bigger impact.
Right.
Than just 2 police cruisers.
We have a friend who drove her electric car from New Hampshire and is parked right back there and walked to our house because she's able to get charging right here.
Yep.
And like, so, that's just my plug. My only other thing is I would love them not to be SUVs. I understood the point you made back when we were talking about this last time about the cage in the back. But the bigger the car, the more dangerous pedestrians, and that's something that I worry about a lot, just like a mass and is force at speed, right? So that's all I gotta say, but. Anyone else?
all right, that being said, all in favor?
And
Order that. Greenville City Council appropriate the sum of $150,000 from sewer enterprise retained earnings to the FY24 sewer enterprise operating budget. We did get a memo from Director Warner on this. I think it was kind of pretty self-explanatory, always giving us good info, heads up.
Do have a quick update if I may.
Oh, you do? Sure.
The current balance of that was the balance in April.
Yep.
Current balance is minus 27,000.
Wow.
It's probably gonna be at least 60 by the time we close out minimum. And we're on the fence of buying further chemicals. So I think it was a good guess on the number.
Yeah, yeah. The extra ray of sunshine on that.
Yeah.
Happy fund. Are there any other questions? We do have the benefit of Director Warner here. All right,
I'll be there Thursday too, if anything comes up.
okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, going to CPA. Lots of these things here. Um,
It's not even the whole packet. I got.
order, in order to approve FY 25 Community Preservation Fund budget, admin costs and reserves, order that the city vote to appropriate and reserve from Community Preservation Fund annual revenues, the sums recommended by the Community Preservation Committee for committee administrative expenses and reserve in fiscal year 2025, with each item to be considered a separate appropriation. Appropriate FY 25 CPC administrative expenses in the amount of $13,035, which is 5%. Reserve $117,350 from the FY 2025 Community Preservation Fund revenues for community preservation fund purposes. FY 25 annual budgeted reserve 45%. Reserve $26,070 from FY 2025 Community Preservation Fund revenues for open space, 10%. Reserve $26,070 from FY 2025 Community Preservation Fund revenues for historic resources, 10%. Reserve $78,210 from FY 2025 Community Preservation Fund revenues for community housing, 30%. Yeah.
Second.
Thank you. Second me on the last one. Anyone read that?
Mhm.
On the police cars? Was it the police car? No, on Marlowe's.
I think it was Counselor Nelson.
What's that?
Seconded it.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. All right, are there any questions on this? This is, if you guys don't know, the CPA kind of has allotted percentages, right? Like it's split up into the
Mhm.
multiple, right?
Do you want us to explain?
If you would like to, I mean, sure.
Both of them this time, huh? So-
Yeah.
You get the full treatment here.
Stop it right away.
Sorry, guys. Thanks.
Thank you for all you guys, the work you guys are doing. You know, it's important stuff and stuff you're doing. I appreciate you guys doing all the research and figuring out, and, you know, and that sort of stuff.
We wouldn't do it without Christian,
I know.
frankly, but it's interesting because we've really been able to have some really good community involvement on this. I mean, we have folks who vote on this stuff and, I could sit down and tell you exactly what ranking they gave, what ranking we as a committee gave, and how we worked that through.
Sure.
So it's an exciting process, I think, that's different from most of the other processes that we do. So it's
Good.
it's good. It's great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
That's your time.
Thank you.
Well, my apologies on that aspect. I just figured when it said started, it was doing it. We're so tiny in the corner this time. I mean, so it was recording.
You got to
So
start.
hopefully recorded.
We voted on stuff.
We voted on, we put recommendations.
Right, it's not technically, but
So we were muted.
We're muted to Zoom. I'm hoping the recording recorded. If not, we should figure out a default way of when it says start meeting and it says you're recording it. All right, it turns everything
You
on.
have a great night.
That's
Thank you, Susan.
for the tech. That's for the tech.
Worst things have happened.
We're all here in person. All right, so now we're at,
Recap?
yeah, quick recap. Other recommendations on those things after some discussion. All right, so end of year transfers. Most fun time of the year. So none of these need first, second readings, public hearings, none of that's required.
What page are we on?
We're on 81 now.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
Hopefully.
It's almost at the bottom.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so sum of 20 grand be transferred from 01001230.5111. Chief of Staff salary to the following general fund accounts. 01001200.5111. Mayor Department full-time salary 8 grand. 01001500.5305. Legal labor 10,000. 01001650.5111. Licensing full-time salary 2,000. Balance in the chief of staff salary current, or at the time of this, was 36,842.46.
They all have the same.
Excuse me.
So is this the, they over budgeted for the chief of staff and didn't use the full?
Yeah, I think it was vacant for a while.
Yes.
And the previous chief of staff got paid more than the current one is.
Okay, that's what I wanted to
Yeah.
make sure.
Yeah, a lot of these things, this is where we end up running into. When you find out closer to the end of the year, what you got left.
Yep.
Some things are, some are not. And as you see in here, there's another 10 grand going to legal labor, so.
There is.
Fill in that, yeah.
That's.
Fill in that, yeah.
Really hoping next year.
Yep. All those, any questions?
Submitting violations.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. 134, the sum of 20,000 be transferred from 01002130.5111 dispatch salary to the following general fund accounts. 01002200.5167 fire department buybacks, 20,000. The balance in the dispatch salary line is 45,849.23.
Second.
Go. Questions there?
I don't know exactly what buyback is.
So that was the only thing that I was wondering, because I don't remember talking about it during the budget.
And if we did, I forgot.
That's a good question. I had the same exact question because I've never seen this presented before.
What are we buying back?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess we can ask that on Thursday
Yep.
and,
Phone a friend.
mayor present.
And I'm sure it'll be a thing.
I literally have never seen that term come up.
Maybe somebody left.
Maybe we just didn't have any money to.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm wondering is if
That's
part of that salary comes from their budget. And so that's going back to theirs. I did notice that with the police department, like parking meters. I don't know if we can do that,
Oh, yeah, it's just police department buyback
you
too.
know,
Right, can we jump ahead?
but yeah, we can certainly ask that question. With that aside, moving money,
Yep.
I'm okay with move money.
all those in favor?
Aye.
135, the sum of 15 grand be transferred from 01001550.5111 Greenfield Technology Department salary to the following general fund accounts. 01001970.5209 Millbrook Solar, 15 grand, balance of the Greenfield Tech Department salary, 34,498.70.
Second.
Any questions on that?
Well, it's meant that there's some money left to move around.
Yeah.
I mean, there is, when you have vacant positions, that makes it a little easier to have some extra shing,
But
but
also it's
a little harder work for the department, but
And this is effectively just paying for the solar field, is that right?
This part, I'm a little
I thought we owned it.
confused about because we do, and we generate money from it, but there's,
Right.
it's always been weird to me that, I don't know if this is paying, kind of like if you put solar on your house and you're leasing it.
Right, that's kind of what
You're
I'm.
like paying the bill on that and then you're getting the credits back in some way and that goes back into our energy revenue, something. I've never really gotten,
Be good to know
It would, I would-
why
yeah.
we're not outright owning things
Right.
versus if that's the case.
Or is it maintenance, or is it,
right.
building more panels, or who,
I mean, I
It's
can,
gotta go back on, it goes back, as far as solar stuff, it goes back to the grid and
Right.
then it gets redistributed.
that's what I mean. We get our utilities in the city paid for, from what I understand, on a lot of our buildings
Right.
by having these solar fields there, but it still means like, you're paying 15 grand for this, but you're generating 30 grand
Sure.
overall. It's just weird.
It would be nice to
Bills.
have that explained out, so,
Yeah.
that would,
It would, because, for me, like, it's my utility bill
Right.
and then I get a check back from somewhere else for the credits, but because this isn't a utility like line item, so.
Right.
Mhm.
Later.
We're getting it back in the form of credits on our municipal cost, I think is the idea.
Right.
I also don't know if this has anything to do, well, it's not Greenfield Light and Power anymore. It's called,
it is.
Something
That's what
else.
shows up on like,
isn't it like Dynergy?
isn't it? I thought it was
They
Greenfield.
changed the name at some point,
This is the thing where you opt into green energy, or opt out, I think it's an opt out.
opt into not buying from Eversource directly
Right.
because we have an option. I think they changed their name at some point.
And this has to be because we had the empty health department person for a while.
This is the tech.
Oh, and the next one.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
there's two for the solar field. This one, first one.
30,000 total.
That's okay. All right, so transferring money from the tech department to solar. All in favor? I'll read it. That's gonna be second verse, same as the first. The sum of 15 grand be transferred from 0100511.5111 health department salary to the following general fund account. 0100197.5209 Millbrook Solar 15,000. Balance in the health department salary, $28,310.76.
Second,
You,
No questions.
pretty much the same, right?
It's a suspiciously flat number, no dimes, no pennies, just 15,000.
I mean, I think to not deplete the whole account
right,
right away, because the rest of that, if it's not spent, you don't want to go too low because flux in the last month or so, but then it will go back to free cash.
Right.
If it's an immediate need, I could see it being a funnier number, you know what I'm saying? Like if it was like, oh, they gotta fix it because it's falling down a ravine,
Right.
15, 20 or something,
All those, we voted on that one, yeah?
Yep.
137. The sum of 20 grand be transferred from 0100212.5247 parking meters, contracted services to following general fund accounts. 0100210.5167 police department buybacks 20 grand. Balance in parking meters, contracted services, 26,226.30.
second,
Any questions? All those in favor?
discuss later. I Googled buybacks and like a lot of it has to do with retirement. So people buying back time for prior service in other areas. So if you're like military,
Oh, gotcha.
buy back and retire earlier. And that's probably what it is paying for those folks who did buybacks and therefore, increase their pensions or whatever.
Do that.
Mm.
we did have some people.
Retire?
Yeah, that's true.
All right, 138, sum of $91 be transferred from 0100175.5711. Planning board meetings to the following general fund accounts.
I don't know.
010011710.5733 Conservation Commission dues, $91. The balance in the planning board meetings is $205.
I don't know about that
No?
Just for thanks, going negative, unanimous negative.
Going for the dollars. Divide it back up to 18,000 bucks.
Can we go 95
Hmm.
and change it?
That's right.
Give them a-
Modify this order.
Do I have a second on that? Thank you. Any further discussion about $91? All right, all those in favor?
2 out.
He said.
We're getting close to the end here.
Move that it be ordered that the sum of $10,640.50 be transferred from 01007100.59991 principal pay down to the following general fund accounts. Can't do this, me. 01003990.5652 Smith Vocational, $10,434. 01007510.5901 state qualified debt, $20. 01007520.5925 short-term interest, $186.50. The balance in principal pay down is $18,383.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion there?
Why are we sending kids to Smith Book? Franklin Tech's right there.
We always pay for,
Do
we
we?
have to pay for Smith Oak, yeah,
Yeah.
budget.
Okay.
It's based on enrollment though, right? Yeah.
We must have certain programs that Franklin Tech doesn't offer.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of it's agricultural.
That would say it's gonna be.
It's big ag school. All right, all those in favor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Someone had to go through and find that $20 that needs to be
Good.
transferred.
Probably cost them more than $20 to find it. The sum of $136,028 be transferred from 01009140.5181 retiree supplemental to the following general fund accounts. 01009160.5181 Medicare City Match, 70 grand. 01009400.5751.
Excuse me, we skipped one.
Yeah.
What?
More legal.
I thought I fell asleep for a second.
We
I
can,
missed what, zero?
We can do this and then go back then, right?
What are you talking about?
there's one order before this.
Yeah, 140.
But we can keep.
That's
we can do
fine. All
that.
right. 140. Move that it be ordered that sum of 75,000 be transferred from 01001320.5781 reserve fund to the following general fund accounts. 01001510.5302 city legal, 75 grand. Balance in that reserve fund, 75 grand.
We're legal.
Yeah.
Or legal is city legal. That's what it's called. City legal and then labor.
Right.
Any questions?
Second.
That's even better.
Mhm.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
City
Nah.
legal is gonna be like a crime show.
That very well be.
We just don't want it to be separate. You can put it in the shelf.
The sum of $136,028 be transferred from 01009140.5181 retiree supplemental to the following general fund accounts. 01009160.5181 Medicare City Match, 70 grand. 01009400.5751 inland marine liability, $45,180. 01009400.5748 commercial prop liability, $20,840. Balance in the retiree supplemental, $182,480.48.
Second.
Yep. Any questions?
I mean, inland marine liability is a fabulous set of
It's the
civil.
dumbest name in the world.
Yeah. Is
I
it
worked in
so,
insurance back in the day and it,
is it just if somebody drowns in a pond?
no,
No.
it's nothing to do with either of those things.
It has nothing to do with either
No,
of those
it's a
things?
name.
Wait, this is a company or something?
Yes, you never heard of Inland Marine?
Oh, right.
Yeah. It's a type of insurance. It's like commercial insurance, like inland marine insurance. You have, workers' comp insurance. You
I
have,
feel like you're like, there's strawberry shortcake insurance. There's.
it is the,
Insurance.
I don't even remember what it covers, but I remember it being absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, that's fascinating. Okay, we can,
That's another Google right there.
yeah, no, I'm,
Spinning wheels.
yeah, I'll do that.
That's right. You're off for the summer, so you can.
I am excited to learn whatever.
What inland marine policy is? That's great. Don't remind me. All those in favor?
Pond down the street from you.
Yeah,
No, Highland Pond. He's in.
it's for my boat. That's ashore. Order number FY 24-142. Move that be ordered, the sum of 16,000 be transferred from 01009120.5740 workers' compensation insurance to the following general fund accounts. 01006100.5112 library part-time salary, $5,000. 01008300.5631 state assessment special education, $11,000. Balance in workers' compensation insurance, 17,318. Nice.
Second.
Cool. Any discussion there? This is a good one to really. I mean, I don't know what the hesitation on $1,318 is, but. You pay workman's comp ahead of time, so if you already know you got money left.
Right.
It's probably just more annoying to. Do that than just to let that go to free cash.
Oh, that's that.
Any, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. Well, all those are done. All right, our next meeting is Tuesday, July 16th, 6 PM. We're right here in City Hall Meeting Room, also Zoom hybrid, unless otherwise posted. And that being said, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'd like to do that.
A second. All those in favor?
Aye, aye, aye.
Right.